It's not only humans that are dealing with the intense heat lately. Our furry friends and pets are also struggling with the extra hot temperatures. Now, how can we care for our pets during humid conditions? Let's find out. Joining us live via Zoom is Stephanie Bautista, head veterinarian of Vet Home Service. It's a beautiful day. Good morning, Stephanie.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, it's great having you. Now, Stephanie, it's been so hot for all of us, and our air conditionings can barely keep up. And I can only imagine it's worse for our pets since they have a fur coat, essentially, right? So, what are some of the signs of heat strokes in pets, and how can pet owners prevent them from happening?
So that's a very good question because it's very important for our pet owners to know the signs of heat stroke so that they can give medical attention to our pets immediately when they see signs because this is a potentially life-threatening condition. Now, the first signs of heat strokes would be excessive panting or yung masyadong mabilis na paghinga where they can have open mouth breathing, tongue out. They can also we can also see signs of drooling, weakness. Rare cases, they can vomit and they can also have diarrhea. And then also, at worst cases, we can see collapse and seizures.
You know, Stephanie, I have some of my friends who have rooms made especially for their dogs with air conditioning or kung wala mang air conditioning na katapat sa electric fan, especially breeds like Siberian Husky where they really need to be kept cool. But in this heat, especially without air conditioning, how can we keep our pets cool? And not just the dogs, the cats as well.
Yes, so there are a lot of ways to keep our pets cool, even if you don't have aircon in your house. So one thing we can do is we can always provide fresh, cold, or lukewarm water, always. So keep them hydrated. We can open the windows to let in some ventilation. Pwede po natin itapat sila sa fan. Just to make sure na yung fan is nagbubuga siya ng malamig na hangin. And also, we can provide cooling stations sa house where you can put wet or damp towels sa floor and para po meron silang mapuntahan when they feel when they feel hot. And also, if you have tiles, pwede niyo po silang ilagay dun sa coolest part of your house so that they can just be away from direct sunlight.
Stephanie, you mentioned giving cold water to your pets. I read an article about this actually, that it is not safe to give your dogs cold water, especially if they have been running around. How true is this?
Yes, exactly. We can't give them immediately when they're after exercise because too much cold water can actually cause digestive upset. So after exercise, just give them lukewarm water because they can drink too fast sometimes after exercise.
Now, Stephanie, speaking of exercise, is there a specific time of day that you recommend for pets to walk or exercise?
The best time for walks ngayong tag-init is early morning. So that's around 5, 6 a.m. And then we skip the midday, we skip the afternoon, and then the next time for exercise is around late afternoon or early evening. So beyond 6 p.m., pwede na po ulit silang mag-walk.
Now, Stephanie, I also see so many pets out in cages. So is it safe for them to keep their pets in cages, or should they be bringing them in the house?
It's all right to be in cages as long as they're not in direct sunlight, but it's best for the pets to be inside the house where they can be cooled down and where they can be away from the heat. Because even if there's no direct sunlight, the pavement can still cause heat and bring it up to them, and they have no way of cooling themselves down because they're inside the cage.
You know, Stephanie, what I do with my baby, I call my dog baby, my baby, I always have yung fur niya trimmed, like summer cut siya palagi. Just to, well, in my head, I'm thinking that I'm helping my little one, keep cool. But does this actually work if you shave their fur or trim it often?
It depends on the breed. So we have dogs that have double coated breeds. So when they're double coated, they don't really need any trim down anymore since their coat can provide insulation and can regulate their temperature. So double coated breeds like the Husky, the Malamutes, the Pomeranians, they don't need the trimming down. But if you have, let's say, Shih Tzus, their hair can go very long. So a summer cut would be good for them as long as they're not shaved down completely because they still need fur to keep them away from the UV sun rays.
You know, another reason why I also have my little babies for trimmed to a summer cut all the time is I try to prevent the, growth of ticks and fleas, which is actually accelerated in hot weather. Di ba, Doc?
Yes, that's
yes,
true.
Yes. So what else can we do to prevent our dogs or cats from getting fleas and ticks, especially now that, it's been so hot lately?
Yes, it's true. The ticks and the fleas, they love the heat. So they come out and they bite our dogs. They can cause disease. Now, with tick and fleas, we already have commercial tick and flea preventives. We have oral tick and flea preventive that they can take monthly or every 3 months. We have tick and flea collars. We have spot-ons. We have sprays that we can do. So visit your local veterinarian so you know what's best for your dog during the summer season. We have to keep them updated on these things because this is a potentially, they're vectors, these ticks, for diseases that can be potentially life-threatening. Also, after walks, you can inspect your dog's fur if you see any ticks or any fleas. If you see ticks, don't crush them, and instead put them on alcohol so they can drown. Because if we crush them, eggs can come out.
Now,
Okay.
I know we're talking about our pets at home, but I want to talk about something, unfortunately, is a prevalent thing here in the Philippines, stray animals. Because I'm such an animal advocate. So what can we do to help stray animals? It's so hot. So should we leave some ice cubes for them or should we leave some treats? What do you recommend we should do?
So for dogs outside or cats outside, the best thing that we can do is provide shade for them. So sometimes they're out on the street, they can't find shade. It's best if we provide some shade on our own homes so they have somewhere to rest on during the hot season. If we can provide them with fresh, cold, or lukewarm water, that's also good for them. And also, if you can have fan outside, that's also good. So somewhere that they can just release heat.
Now, if we see our pets collapse or a stray animal collapse and they become unresponsive due to the heat, what should we do?
Yeah, this is an emergency already. So when we see our pets collapse, when we touch them and they're so hot, the best thing that we should do is to bring them to the nearest vet clinic. But before that, the very first aid that we can do is put them on a shaded area. Kasi possible po nagka-heat stroke sila kasi they were on direct sunlight. So put them on a shaded area. If they can still drink water, give them water. And then on your way to the vet clinic, we can already give some damp or yung basang tuwalya, put them on their bodies, especially on their belly, their armpit, their paws, or their singit. These are the best areas to keep cold para po mawala sa katawan nila yung init. But the vet clinic is the best po talaga para ma-monitor sila during their cooling down.
Yep. Well, thank you so much, Stephanie, for coming this morning and giving us these great insights. It's been a crazy, crazy hot time of the year. Ladies and gentlemen, Stephanie Bautista, the head veterinarian of the Vet Home Service.
Thank you so much.